It's the end of the ponies as we know it,
Oh my
and I
God.
feel fine.
He texted me before we streamed. I'll either think this is cheesy or I'll think it's brilliant. And so anyway, yeah, what's up?
I can tell it's cheesy.
So yeah, beginning of the end here, literally. We are at the precipice. Do you understand me? We are at the precipice of the end of an end of an era, and that started tonight. Well, it started three days ago, but you get my point. This is and here's the thing. We're going to recap as well as we can because his memory is good. My memory's shoddy. We're going to recap segment by segment. I think the best premiere in the show. I know some people are still going to have super duper nostalgia swingy boners for the Discord episode, which I'm pretty sure the season 2 premiere is still mostly everyone's favorite premiere, and I get that. But this to me was just it was dope, and it felt so unlike any other season premiere, I think, and we'll get into it. But yeah, no, this premiere kicked all the amounts of ass.
Well, I'll say this one thing, kind of going off of what you were saying. The thing with this premiere is it actually surprised me in a couple places. I was like, I thought they were doing it this way, but they're actually doing it another way. Okay, let's see where this goes,
Yeah. And so basically what this to summarize the episode up in a sentence, Pony Justice League is about to fight the Equestria's Legion of Doom, which is awesome.
Dude, I swear to God, when they showed that little swamp like skull thing, I actually paused it when Katie and I were watching this, and I'm just like, meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
That's literally, and if I remember correctly from Super Friends, their base was like in a swamp or something too.
Although I have to say I love the spoof that they do with something Dark Side. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, not now. Okay.
Oh man, but yeah, so let's get into it. So the show opens up with Twilight and them are running. They're sprinting. They're just gallop, 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 gallop. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on? And then Twilight's like, it's urgent. And everyone's like, what's urgent about it? It's urgent, she says.
All we heard is just it's urgent. And Pinkie Pie being Pinkie Pie is like, I love running so fast fast enough to where you could see the crowd get or the sides get blurry and everything.
Yeah, I almost thought that line would have been even funnier only if she used the term speed lines. Like she said, I love it when we run so fast that we can see speed lines.
Or it's like, I love it when we run so fast that we tear a hole through time and go through Flashpoint.
Oh God. I don't need to think of Reverse Flash being in Equestria. I don't want to see Eobard Thawne versus, or however you say his name, versus Twilight Sparkle, or no, I'm sorry, versus Rainbow Dash.
Which, speaking of, I really want to see Shazam because I hear it's amazing.
So they get to the throne room, and the princesses are there, and they're smiling. They're like, look at these kids that have saved the world so many freaking times. They're great. They're so great.
Look at these kids.
And then they're like,
they know nothing.
Celestia literally looks at Twilight and she's like, look at this horse. This horse is amazing. And
look at my horse is amazing. Give it a lick. Oh, it tastes just like raisins. Have a stroke of its. God, that's old school.
Signed Bad Horse. Okay, so they're like, yo, what's up? And then the princesses are like, well, the time's come. We're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, so we're going to retire from in-ring activity. And the ponies are literally like, what? They're like, what? Excuse me.
Fucking what, mate?
It's like that new meme with the Fallout character where his head is coming out of his chest, and he's like, I forget what he says, but you know the one. He's like, before. So they're like, well, you see, you guys have done such good. Oh, this canonized and uncanonized so many fanfics because it's always been a common thing. Everyone's just like, okay, so you know how Celestia and Luna aren't there ever, or they're always getting captured? Well, it's actually a secret test of character that is putting them through this and that so they can prove they're stronger than this and that. And eventually, you know, it's the and it'll be their way of training them and getting them ready to either rule Equestria or take over for them. And a bunch of other people were like, no, that's stupid. How could they do that? Why would they do that? They would never. That's exactly what they did here. That's exactly. Celestia literally all but says the words, and I paraphrase, you all have done so much on your own, and you've accomplished so much because Twilight's like, shouldn't there be a test or something? And Celestia literally says, everything you've gone through has been a test. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. They're trying to like Tetsuya Nomura and Xehanort this, or Hideo Kojima and Revolver Ocelot this, where they're like, everything that happened was by design, it was a test of character, and it was all part of the plan. Celestia almost literally, I thought she was going to say the words, it was all part of the plan. Starlight almost, you know, literally changing the flow of time, Sombra almost enslaving a whole bunch of people, Chrysalis hijacking a wedding, Nightmare Moon coming back almost, which they left out of their repertoire of villains in the earlier gag. They're just in a later gag.
At, like the last thing they said, I think.
Either way, they're just like, oh yeah, it was all part of a test. And I was like, boy. Like, you don't know how long. No, you know. Some people won't know how long. People were like, why is this pony matriarchy so ineffective? Well, there you go. It was like a good amount of people thought. Trollestia is canon, everybody. All those deconstructive fanfics about Luna being against Celestia and being like, you can't do these to these ponies, they trust you. Or Celestia being like, hey, I know I'm an irresponsible leader, but it's because of all this and that. Nope, it's all wrong. It was all for the greater good. Everybody agrees Luna and Celestia are in accordance. That tells me some point in between seasons 1 and now, Celestia pulled Luna aside and was like, hey, okay, some shit's gonna go down, but hey, they got this. Hold back. Wear weighted clothing, Goku. And Luna's like, gotcha, fam. So yeah,
and then you notice, going back to season 3, when Luna was like, I want to get into this action, and Celestia's like, nah, let's let Twilight do it. Now, for the TLDR that Snakeskin just put out, basically, y'all 6 do make our jobs look pathetic. You basically make it so that we're shit at our jobs, so we're going to fucking retire, and you all taking up the mantle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when I replaced Brian. It's incredibly contrived and completely preposterous, but it's such a weird string of coincidences that it makes sense into the story. Anyway, so...
Which, by the way, after we're done with this recording, I want to talk to you about that.
Okay, so Twilight is understandably, she hyperventilates into a paper bag. Discord chimes in a couple times, by the way. And he's basically just like Twilight, you can't handle this. You can't do this. You ain't ready.
Can't handle the truth.
And Twilight's like, I can't do this. So they cut back to their castle, and Discord literally says the words, I know what's about to happen. She's about to say she can't do this. You're all about to make her feel better. He says the sentence, I don't need to be here for this.
Uh-huh.
And he yeets, and then exactly what you think happens, but a little meta, because she's like, I need some. Rarity's got waters. He's like, I need to make a plan. And then Spike's got notebook. And then Pinkie Pie's like, classic Twilighting. And Twilight's like, when did I become an expression or a verb?
You
whatever.
may be a verb? Yep.
Well, everybody's heard about the
verb. I love how Rainbow Dash is like, go ahead, Twilight all you need. We'll be here for you when you get back.
Twilight all you need. Is this the same show from 9 years ago? Well, that's a obvious no. Anyway.
It's changed so fucking much.
But
anyway, so they are going and trying to make a plan. And then it switches over to Chrysalis. She is sane, of course. She's gone full insane. Because, like, her eye derps for a second. So that makes you know she's insane right now. And she's talking to these pieces of wood that have old changeling, like, faces and bodies on them. And then she gets whisked away. Then it switches down to Tartarus with Tyrek and Cozy Glow. And Tyrek's, like, doing that thing that Rey did in Force Awakens where she put, like, little lines or whatever for how long she's been there. And it's Cozy goes like, hey, Tyrek, it's Lord Tyrek, but what do you want? I just want to make sure that you can see our friendship statue from here.
I have my opinions about Cozy Glow and Tyrek, but I'll save that when we get to Chrysalis.
Shipping. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not shipping Tyrek with Cozy Glow.
Anyway, they get whisked away. And then you see Sombra being reincarnated through this, like, summoning circle sort of thing. So I'm like, that's fucking cool. And I'm like, wait, no. Shit, they're going to make him like Aiden Pierce because it looked like the Watch Dogs logo.
Oh my god. No, dude, that logo looks just like the logo for a band I like named Ministry.
There you
go. They do that. It's an M, but there's a circle and a line for the Ministry. And it looks like an anarchy system. But yeah, sorry, I think I cut out there. Anyway, yeah, it looks like an anarchy symbol, but like doubled, and the Y at the end, it looks like an upside down peace sign. No, look, my point is using the power of 90s industrial metal, which, funny enough, Ministry was on the soundtrack to freaking Watch Dogs, using and reciting the mantra of Jesus built my hot rod. What's that dude's name? Grogar brings Sombra back from the dead.
So
it's the most metal thing ever. The dude draws a pentagram. I know it's an M, but it's a pentagram. He summons a demon. That's so rock and roll.
It's a demon. So then they're all talking like, how did you get out of Tartarus? Did you free us or whatever? And I love how all these, like, outside of Cozy Glow, all these villains know each other. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, Chrysalis looks at Tyrek and she's like, Lord Tyrek, I haven't seen you in a while. And they're like, oh, King Sombra, you returned, you know. And then you see Grogar come up. And at first, when I saw the horns and the cloven hooves, I'm like, wait, is that Scorpion?
Is that
and then
Daniel
I saw
Bryan?
And then I'm like, oh, it's a goat. Let me look this up because he looks familiar. And yeah
apparently
it's another
Homeboy
G1 villain.
Yeah, apparently homeboys from G1. So hey, you know, it's been full circle a couple of times, but now it's really full circle.
And here's the thing. I love how G4 is trying to make G1 as like the past sort of thing, because Tyrek says, I knew of Grogar's accomplishments when I was younger, when I was just a kid. I'm like, ooh.
So like,
Oh.
is this like Legend of, does the My Little Pony cinematic universe work like Legend of Zelda, but like Tyrek and some of the villains are like the singularity where they exist through all of it?
Well, the problem is, like, outside of the names of the characters, everything's like pretty much completely different.
Yeah, I know, and it's like that every gen, but still.
Yeah. But yeah, so I love his little glass ball, because someone actually pointed out that it looks like a goat's eye, number one. And number two, I'll just say it, I'm just calling it right now. It's the Eye of Sauron.
You know, basically. And so he's immediately like, okay, checking, homies. You want to know why you lost to those ponies? And they're giving out jokey reasons. Or, well, actually, I liked Cozy Glows because Tyrek's like, oh, I forgot what
Like,
Sombra
because
said.
they're annoyingly, like, persistent or something?
No,
annoyingly lucky.
Yeah, he called them lucky. And I forget what Sombra and Chrysalis said, but Cozy Glow's just like,
cheat or something.
Yeah, she said they cheat, but Cozy Glow's just like, well, I'm a kid, so. And it's like, you know, the only reason I can think of that they brought Cozy Glow is solely for the fact that, well, one, she has to be really, really smart, and B, it's to provide insider information, because she was at that school for a while. So I mean, she would have come across some very particularly valuable information, not just about the school, but the main six and her students. Which, you know, they're probably going to bring the young six into this at some point, because I feel like what they're gonna do is they're gonna kind of do almost a Kingdom Hearts thing where like every villain has their their true arch nemesis. Even to this day, when I think of Twilight's true arch nemesis, I genuinely think Tyrek and Starlight Glimmer and Chrysalis, and not just because of DWK. I really like their confrontation. Cozy Glow, you know, V versus the Young Six. And Sombra, I would have said would have been something else, but spoiler alert, he goes out pretty brutal.
Now,
but anyway, so that's
so
what
I
I think
they're gonna have like a season-long story arc where each of the villains are gonna have a time to try and get to the main six, but they fail.
Well, I don't think any more are going to get killed for at least a while. I feel, actually, you know what? I think Sombra is going to be the only one to fall. I truly think that, you know, and Tyrek and Cozy Glow at the very least are going to last to the finale, unless all three of them get destroyed, or defeated. But in the process, they power up Gandalf or whatever his name is, and then the whole series finale is just a two-parter where they fight Galfor, whatever his name is.
But I have to say, the setup here is very interesting.
Yes.
Now, the first thing that got me was I half expected Sombra's takeover to take 5 minutes, because you know how it is usually. Go ahead, try it, and then 5 minutes later, see, he didn't do it, so now we got to do something. No. Sombra's takeover takes the rest of the fucking premiere. And I couldn't be happier. But I have to say, isn't his voice a little weird?
Okay.
And I have no idea if it's the same voice actor or not.
His dialogue was fine. I just wanted a deeper voice.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like, if he had said every single line in the show, and I'm not saying, you know, they had to put the echo and they had to do Christian Bale's Batman. I mean, just like like a mix between who's someone with a deep voice on the show? Like a mix between like Big Mac and like Solid Snake, you know? I'm not saying go full Snake, but like, you know, definitely have like I like the idea of him being like clear, precise, and articulate, but just have him be voiced by Fred Tatasciore, okay? Soldier 76, and that would have been fine. Or yeah, you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah.
Well,
So
I'll tell you this.
fine.
I'll tell you this. So you were talking about, you know, Big Mac with Solid Snake. I can now think of Big Mac in a Metal Gear uniform going, "Yep."
It's just there's like Snake. Have you reached the mission point? It's just like, yep.
Yeah. So, but I have to say, I think Follow the Crystal Empire from Silly Philly Studios got it Sombra right, like the voice acting, because he's just like, it's like, I can feel your wrath and your sister's contempt, and they both are delicious. Just like that would be
yeah. Like make it like both are cartoony, but the one you just did, that's like cartoony and to me more fitting. I don't know. Maybe they gave him the flamboyant voice because he has really gay looking sideburns. Anyway, my point. I'm just saying he looks like he frequents Haight-Ashbury Street.
Okay, guys. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go, and you guys are like gonna die now.
I'm not even kidding. I saw human artwork of Sombra once, and he literally looked like one of my cousin's old boyfriends. It was trippy.
Damn.
So anyway, shout out to you, Mike, to you, cousin Mike. Anyway, so Sombra, he wrecks everything, and I appreciate that the Crystal Guard attempted to do something and fight him and stop him before, and he didn't just walk up to the castle. He showed up, fought some people, mind controlled some people, and then broke on true. And I thought this was great. Dude, I'm serious. These 2 episodes, I don't know if they're but they have to be 2 of the darkest episodes in this whole series, because he doesn't even go for Cadence or Shine Armor. He goes for the baby. He's holding it in his magic, and I'm just like, dude, if this was live action, he would have like had one of those really curvy Middle Eastern knives and like held the curved end like this against like
against her throat.
Yeah, against Flurry Heart, and I'm just like, dude, this is awesome. This whole premiere just feels like the Sombra episodes we should have gotten 5 years ago.
And I'll say this: when they figure out that they don't have Flurry Heart and they run to get to her, and Sombra has her, it's interesting. Katie was like, "Why the hell isn't Cadence going into full like mama bitch mode sort of thing, and like mama bear mode basically?" And then we watched it a second time. Shining Armor stops her from doing that.
Oh yeah, no, he holds her back.
I'm just like, damn.
So he locks him up. Cadence sends off an emergency thingamajiggy to Twy and Pals, and then Twy and Pals they storm the castle.
Now, one thing I have to say before this: when they bring Cadence, Shining Armor, and Flurry Heart up to have them kneel before Sombra, there was a picture I saw that part of a bronies group that I'm a part of on Facebook, and they're just like when it's either like when your parents are super emo or super goth or something, because they have the metal things with the shades.
Yeah, I know, they look like they're going to a Slipknot concert.
Right.
So
what's the one dude in Slipknot that has like the black mask with all the needles sticking out?
Yeah, he works like the turntables when they do like songs from their first like 2.5 albums, I think. I forget what number he is. I think he's like 7 or 6.
Mhm.
I don't even know if they still go by numbers. They used to just go by their numbers, but once the internet told everyone everyone's name, I think they kind of just started going by their names. But they used to just go by their numbers.
Well, the only one that I know from Slipknot is Corey Taylor.
That is also Joey Jordison.
Yeah.
So
I'm
the
not
pony,
gonna make it.
so the
Sorry.
ponies show up, and Sombra's like dark magic boy, and he subjects them to their deepest fears. And Twilight's like, and Twilight, everyone's mind control. Celestia and Lunar just be like, Twilight, I'm disappointed. But then she conquers her, and I thought this was all going to be really anticlimactic crap, and Sombra was going to go back to freaking the other bad guys, because I thought this, both episodes were going to be not completely unconnected like season 7's, but I thought they were kind of going to be. Au contraire, turns out that was the whole point.
So you thought like me, where he was going to have like 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, or at the very least, they would have beat him, and then he would have went back to the villains. But au contraire, I then eventually discovered that was the entire point.
And so I love how they're all like, that was easy. Like,
yeah,
that's never happened before. And so they put the elements back because they use the elements to banish Sombra, which I gotta wonder. Since the elements of harmony have different effects on different villains, do you think that the elements of harmony would not have been able to fully, like, kill Sombra? Like, in the sense of it would just turn him into shadow again and banish him like it did before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's giving more lore to the elements of harmony is what I'm trying to say. And they put the elements back, and they're walking away, and they see these dark smoke clouds. And all of a sudden, Sombra's crystals literally Shawshank Redemption the fucking Tree of Harmony and completely bitch slap the elements to little pieces. And I'm just like, a damn.
Yeah, once again, another status quo shift. And you know what? I was a little bummed because I'm like, damn, the Tree of Harmony was one of my favorite characters after that crap last season. But I'm like, you know what? They're putting over Sombra. So that's all that matters. So then the next episode, this whole next episode is so bleak. I thought I was watching the extended cut of I thought I was watching some deleted scenes from Man of Steel. So they're walking around Ponyville, right? And Sombra, he taunted them, and he's laughing. He's yucking it up. They walk around Ponyville, and Applejack and Rarity's sisters are possessed. Oh, at first they dig themselves out of a hole, and you know the situation is serious because Rainbow Dash is like, Pinky, shouldn't you say something uplifting to lift us up? And Pinky's like, sorry, she literally says there's nothing funny about this. I'm like, thank you. Marvel movies could learn a thing or two. Anyway.
And then I love how Pinky uses her drill powers from the Bats episode again. And then Rarity's like, as much as I would not like to get dirt on my hooves, this is different. This is for Sweetie Belle. And she goes down like, damn.
Show me the money.
Yeah, that's
he
what
says. Show me the money, like it's Jerry Maguire. That's
hey, show me the money.
Congratulations, you still got my contract. No,
it's like that one Bo Burnham vine where it's like, congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won. Mom!
Whatever happened to Cuba Gooding Jr.? Anyway, so they go back to Ponyville, and Apple Bloom's possessed, Starlight's possessed, Sweetie Belle's possessed, and this kind of not reminded me in terms of quality or even imagery, but in a similar thing. It reminded me to the end of Endgame when everyone's fading away, where they show you this horrific thing, but they don't like quickly gloss over it. The beauty of this being a part 2 is that it gives them ample time to really show you how seeing, their family and friends being possessed like that is really tearing apart Applejack and Rarity. Kind of, like
especially Applejack, because I gotta say, the lines that she was spouting off to Apple Bloom. Look at me, Sugar Cube. No. Don't do this. Snap her out of it, Twilight. I'm like, damn.
It's like, yeah, dude, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
So,
this is metal.
so they so Sombra begins to lay siege to Cantor Lot, and he gets in there, he darkens up the place, whole bunch of crystals, and the main six make their way over there, and they're about to fight him, and he's like, "You guys suck, lol."
Now,
And
I love the scene in front of the castle because they have to fight their own friends and family, basically.
yeah,
Ash has to face off against the Wonderbolts.
that was great. I love how her and Fluttershy beat them.
Yeah. Fluttershy and Twilight, I believe them two. It was either her or just Fluttershy, but they had to defeat the like the Royal Guard or whatever. And they're having to do all this stuff. And it's basically like, we'll come back for you. No worries. Sorry about this.
They should have had Fluttershy fight Zephyr Breeze.
Right? That would have been amazing.
That would have been great. Or Twilight fight her parents. Don't they live in Canterlot?
I think so.
Yeah,
Twilight Velvet and Nightlight.
Yeah, trust me, there is nothing more great for a character development than having to punch your parents in the face. Maybe that's just me. Anyway.
Karma. But
here, keep walking.
I
gotta step out of the room real quick. I'll just be a second.
Okay. So they gotta fight through their way through the castle. And it's very interesting, seeing them having to face like these characters they've known for a while. And they get inside and Discord starts talking to them. And he's like, he has a pickle with a fork, and he's just like, "Oh, it looks like you all are in a bit of a pickle, or should I say more of a jam?" And it's a jam of jelly, and he dips the pickle into the jam, and I'm like, first of all, that's disgusting, and second of all, I wonder if that's something that a pregnant woman would want to have. I've heard pickles and ice cream, but what about pickles and like grape jelly or something like that? Or heck, even mango jelly. But they get to the throne room. And Discord is basically in front, snapping at each magical blast that Sombra is throwing at them. And they're turning into different things. So, like, one of them's balloons, one of them's confetti, one of them's butterflies. Some of them just evaporate. And I love how Discord at this point has just, like, resigned himself to saying, hey, I'm not going to, like, necessarily help you. I'm here to just kind of be the comic relief like I've always been. It's kind of up to you guys to be able to work this out. I'm not going to be the end all be all to kind of save this.
I'm gonna be. Wait, are you from where you're at? Did the Sombra already get yeeted?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I was just talking about how Discord's like, oh, it seems like you guys are in a bit of a pickle, or would I say more of a jam, and then he dips it in. And I'm just like, first of all, that's disgusting. But second of all, is that something that a pregnant woman would have?
Oh, my God.
Oh, it reminds me. Okay, did you ever see the Nintendo videos on Newgrounds? The Nin and then the number 10 and Do?
Oh, dude, those are great. I go back to those once in a while.
So it's like, what was it? It was basically like, and now we return to our feature programming. The Muse. Phone rings. Oh, it's 3 a.m. What do you want? I have a craving. Chicken stuffed salad.
I thought you were gonna say you're watching channel D.
Now back to Kirby's Animal Friends.
Boy, Kirby, almost Australian for some reason. Ow!
My
Oh,
favorite,
Kirby,
my
you're so
favorite,
stupid.
my favorite of the original though is where she goes over and she's just like, "Oh, just look!" Pulls up her shirt, her tits fly out, and he's just like, "Oh, no fucking way!"
That was funny. I think this is the first one where Mario eats that mushroom and he's like, "Ooh, I wonder what this is," and then he has that acid trip.
Yeah. Whoa, I'm freaking out, man! Don't touch me, you stinking scallop.
So we're at Discord. So I wanted to make a joke earlier where I was like, Fluttershy, I don't feel so good because Discord here, he's making mincemeat out of Sombra's spells, and he's more or less fully powered up. And then he says, well, you guys should really be thanking Fluttershy for me being here. And Sombra's like, wait a minute, I'm a smart villain. So he goes to attack Fluttershy. And Discord like knows his way in front of Fluttershy's soft coat. And he takes the bullet super hard, you guys. And he gives this. I knew they weren't going to kill him, I think, but they made it pretty convincing. I was like, dude, how gnarly would that be? First season episode, and they kill off John Delancey. I'm like, dude.
I knew we'd be talking about, Infinity War, where I don't feel so good. My sister and I, we literally had it where to annoy her boyfriend, we will literally sing Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Everything's going dark. I don't feel good, Mr. Stark. Oh no. No more Spider-Man.
Or actually, it would probably, and I saw a comparison to this on YouTube. It would be more equivalent to like when they killed Loki in the first 10 minutes of Infinity War. So,
that was like, damn, this is getting dark already.
Yeah, I know.
Be a god.
Oh yeah, people love it when Marvel goes dark, but if DC goes dark, everyone's like, "Oh, there was only 3 damn movies in the whole universe that were like absolutely dark, dark, dark. Every other movie has a tone that's specific to the character, not it's the Marvel tone and it's the DC tone. Every film is different." I'm sorry. Anyway, the point is, Discord gets Loki'd super hard, and he gives this really, really, really well-spoken speech.
You're here together,
and
you have the power inside you, and nothing can ever take that away.
It was so anime, dude.
And John Delancey knew to ham it up as much as he could.
Because, like, it's hammy, but it's not fake for the character. You know what I mean?
Which, speaking of hamminess, let me just say that, you know how we were talking about how they were kind of hammy in the prequel trilogy of Star Wars?
Yeah.
I know why. Someone actually just posited that George Lucas himself, for the prequels, was trying to make it look like a 1930s serialized show. He was trying to make it as 1930s as he could. That's why the dialogue and acting is so stilted, especially for Attack of the Clones.
Okay, but that worked in times back then, not because quality was lower, but because there were ways actors back then were able to convey and convince you. That's why actors from 50, 70 years ago are still celebrated, and people are like, those are real movie stars compared to even some of the greatest today. It's because of, well, anyway, the point is that, yes, you're right. I thought he was going for a Shakespearean thing, though, with the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, could be. But anyway, back to ponies. So he does that awesome speech, and basically they're just like, you know what? We do have the magic inside of us this whole time. And I love how they're walking towards Sombra really slowly, and there's a magical blast that comes out, and one of the times that it happens, Twilight literally just like flicks her horn to bat the magic away, and her hair
Yeah.
kind of flows a little bit. I'm just like,
This was
damn, that looks awesome.
This was so anime, dude. I love it.
And they get in a circle, and they're just like, and it is just like, I keep telling you that the magic is inside us.
Yeah, because Sombra starts having a breakdown. He's like, I destroyed the source of your power. And they're like,
fight the power.
Yeah, they're like, we are the power. And they blast this dude.
And I gotta say, when Sombra's saying that I took away the source of your power, I love like his lips quivering as well.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what a pussy. Accept your
great.
death with dignity, damn it.
Yeah, no, that whole scene was great. So when they kill this guy, look up old Dragon Ball Z footage of Nappa, Frieza, and Cell getting killed because he disintegrates just like that. Mm-hmm. He kind of did in season 3.
He disintegrates like in Infinity War.
Yeah, but I don't even mean no. They disintegrated and flew away. He gets erased. They took an eraser to him. And my thoughts at the time, and they still kind of are conflicted, because on one side, Sombra was so great in these 2 episodes. And I wanted him to stick around. But him getting killed off for real had a point. And the point was, because we flash back to Cozy Glow, Tyrek, and Chrysalis, which I'm going to say
You there, Snakeskin? I think he just froze.
And,
oh, there you go. You froze for like 30 seconds.
Holy crap. Anyway, point I was trying to say was, this is where
Okay, this is a little weird. Can you turn your quality down at all?
Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Okay, so like I was saying, my theory, Tyrek and Chrysalis are going to become good guys and adopt Cozy Glow because I don't know why, but the 3 of them side by side is really precious, and I platonically ship it.
Yeah,
I family ship it. It's kind of like in recent seasons. Yeah, it's kind of like in recent episodes of South Park where I want PC Principal and that one teacher lady person to just adopt Butters from his horrible parents. Anyway,
now I wanna mention one thing that we forgot to talk about. When the Everfree Fortress starts invading again, and they go and grab these gardening tools, and they're running for Equestria.
That was,
and of course, Rainbow Dash has an axe.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, yo, chill, Rainbow Dash. You don't have to go all Rainbow Factory on the place.
Yeah, right. And so Star Swirl is basically a Jedi because he comes in and is like, the Tree of Harmony got destroyed. I know. I could sense its presence leaving this world. I'm just like, so basically, I have felt a disturbance in the forest, as if thousands of tiny branches suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
Yeah, that was great. And the princesses show up to tend the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
So
it makes me wonder, are they going to take up gardening when they retire?
Oh, God. They're going to be like Thanos at the end of the original Infinity War in the comics. After he snaps his fingers and wipes out half the universe, and this is legit, he just goes and becomes a farmer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that was the beginning of the end. And,
Yeah.
The two things I want to mention here before we give our scores. I mentioned this to Snakeskin before he saw the episode. And I said, in a way, this last scene basically makes scenes from previous episodes that were kind of like, are you kidding me? And made them work better here. The first one, three's a crowd when Discord is faking it the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
This time, it actually has a fucking point.
And it's subtle.
Uh-huh. Secondly, when Celestia and Luna are just like, we're going to let you have some time before you get to usurp the throne because we see that you're stressing the fuck out. And, yeah, it makes the scene of Celestial advice at the end of, I don't want to leave. Oh, good. I didn't want you to leave either. Makes so much more sense here.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of Starlight, there's actually a scene earlier in the episode where Starlight is like going nuts, where Starlight comes in and Twilight's going nuts, and it's like, wow, you're Twilighting really hard. Wait, you say that too? And it's like, I wrote a letter for me to say something to you, Starlight, and she finds it and she's like, Starlight, you are the greatest pony I've ever met, and you've grown so much, and I want you to take over the castle and the school. So, what do you think?
Well, let me see here. What was your score?
I'm going to give this an 8.
I was going to give it a 9. I enjoyed the second half significantly more than the first, but both as a whole, dude, this was great. I want to give this one a 9.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm fine with giving it an 8. And what the hell, I'll knock it up to an 8.5. This was a very well put together season premiere. And it didn't really have all that many flaws. Like, for the most part, it was actually really well executed. So I applaud them for this.
Yeah, no, this was good. I'm always looking forward to every season, but I am really, this whole season is going to have a whole myth arc like Cozy Glow, except it's going to be even more apparent. So this is going to be great. I'm just telling you, it already did, but man, Gen 5 sure is going to have its work cut out for it.
And I'll tell you this: do you want to look up the synopsis for next week? Because I'm really interested to see what it's about. Because, wow, what a start to the season! I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm looking that. Okay. Oh, the young six respond to a magical summons from the Tree of Harmony, only to learn it has been destroyed.
So you're basically saying that they're going to find out that it's destroyed.
Yeah.
That's Is that all it says? Or
that's all it says. Only to learn it's been destroyed. There's a synopsis for the episode after that.
I think we'll wait until next week for that.
Sure.
Now, from what I understand, at least from me, my schedule is going to be starting on a rotation. And with this rotating schedule, I'll only have certain days off. So we'll kind of have to plan over that. And my next day off is Monday. So most likely you'll be seeing the epilogue to this week's episode coming out on Monday. And then it'll be just at random up until the end of the end of the season, because it's a 3-week rotating schedule. I only have 1 in 3 weeks, once every 3 weeks that I'm off Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, so that's it from me, John.
And Snakeskin.
And we'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Adios.